So now trickle-down economics usually doesn't work. Why? Because the economics never trickle down. But in today's video, I'm going to show you how it actually did work when I filled out the application for the PPP loan, the EIDL loan, and the EIDL grant, and got 2 of the 3. So stay tuned.
Thank you for stopping by the channel today. If this is your first time here, this channel shares the challenges and successes of small business ownership through the eyes of a freight broker. If you're interested in starting a freight broker business, or perhaps you're considering another small business and you want to know what it's really like to be a 24/7 entrepreneur, then you're in the right place. Subscribe to my channel for weekly videos released on Mondays about overcoming the challenges of a freight broker business and winning as small business owners. I believe in starting small and growing big. And if you like the content on the channel, please smash that like button, share the video with your network, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified every time I release new videos.
So surely when there's talk of the government giving away free money, there's going to be some skepticism. I had some of the same skepticism. Back in the last part of March, my CPA started to get me prepared to apply for the PPP loan, the EIDL loan, and the EIDL grant. And then when the first part of April came in, as a matter of fact, it was the first Friday in April, I started to go ahead and apply for those loans. So I went on the SBA site and applied for the EIDL loan. When I applied for the EIDL loan, that made me eligible for the EIDL grant. The EIDL grant at that time was $10,000. Well, after I applied and started getting updates about my application, the SBA notified me and said that, okay, you've been approved for the EIDL grant. You're going to be receiving that, but you're not going to receive $10,000. If you have 10 employees, you will receive $10,000. If you have 1 employee, you receive $1,000, 2, $2,000, so forth and so on. So that was a little change. It started out at $10,000, but after I applied and received approval, and I was told that I would be getting the grant, not the EIDL loan, just the grant, then they said, okay, your grant is going to be in the amount of $1,000. So now let's think about that. That's $1,000 free dollars in a grant that I don't have to pay back. Certainly would have liked to have the $10,000, but the $1,000 is great, no problem. So now I had the PPP loan that I was going to apply for. That was on a Friday. So I had filled out the paperwork, got everything ready, and then I hadn't submitted it on Friday. I was going to submit it on Monday. So that Sunday, I saw an article on Yahoo that said Wells Fargo had run out of money. And just so happened, Wells Fargo is the bank that I use. So I had a dilemma. I said, okay, well, am I going to go ahead and submit this application on Monday, or will I just kind of wait because the money has run out? I decided to go ahead and submit it because what I said was, hey, maybe I would be first in line if new money was approved. Well, that's exactly what happened. They went in and approved new money. I think it was on April 16th that the bill went into effect. The new money was available for small businesses. So now I'm first in line. So just last week, I got notification that I was approved for the PPP loan. And I also got the EIDL grant. So the PPP loan, the wonderful thing about that is actually now it's a loan, but it's a forgivable loan. As long as you use it according to how you should use it. Now there are some guidelines that tell you how to use it. I am going to be using it for paying myself. So as long as you're using it for paying yourself, for mortgage interest and things of that nature, you will not have to pay it back. Or let me back up. I should say you can file for forgiveness, and they will forgive that loan as long as you use it for the things that you're supposed to use it for. And of course, you want to keep good records. You want to make sure that you have good records to show that the money came into your account and it went out of your account. And again, you have 8 weeks to distribute that money to yourself. If you have any money left over after 8 weeks, then that money may not be forgiven. So you want to make sure that you keep good records when the money comes into your account and how you're distributing that money over an 8-week period of time. But it actually did work. I, as a small business owner, got some of that money. I got the $1,000 for the grant, and then I got another $5,500 for the the PPP loan. Got it, the PPP loan for $5,500 and the EIDL grant for $1,000. So that's about $6,500, almost $7,000 that I will not have to pay back as long as I use it in accordance to how it's supposed to be used. And you can bet that I'm going to use it how it's supposed to be used, because the whole purpose of getting a loan is, of course, to get you through these tough times that we're going through. We don't know how long this thing is going to last with the coronavirus. We don't know how it exactly is going to affect your businesses. Even if your businesses are doing well right now, there's a possibility that things could change. For me, we're already seeing damage in our businesses. Our businesses are already slowing down. Freight is already slowing down. We didn't move the same amount of freight this month as we did last month. We took a loss as compared to last month. So, you know, that's the kind of things that are going to happen. Freight is going to slow down. Different things are going to happen to the system. But we're still running now. Everything is still going, but you're still going to see some losses. So this money is to help small businesses get through those type of losses. So if you've already filed your application for your PPP, your EIDL loan, and your EIDL grant, make sure that you're checking your email. They're going to be sending out those notifications to you, so make sure that you're checking them. Every other day I was receiving notifications from Wells Fargo saying, hey, your application is in, it's not being processed yet, but as soon as the money goes in, we'll process your application and we'll notify you if you have been approved. They were giving me those messages every other day. And then finally, I got the message from DocuSign. I knew it was a PPP loan had been approved then, because they had already told me that they would send the promissory note via DocuSign. So when I saw the email from Wells Fargo and the DocuSign in the subject, I said, oh, I got it, I've been approved. So make sure that you're checking those emails. Check those emails often. Stay on top of that. When they request information, make sure you provide that information right away, because this is money that can definitely help you in your business. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share with you today. Certainly hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions about the PPP loan, the EIDL loan, or the EIDL grant, I suggest that you get in touch with your tax professional or get in contact with your CPA so they can help you navigate the process. Being timely with your paperwork, being timely with your responses is very important. So I highly suggest that you stay on top of those emails and respond when you get the messages from either SBA or your bank, whichever bank that you may be filing for the PPP loan through. Now, for those of you that may be wondering, how can you help me? If you like these videos, you find value in the videos, and you're just wondering, how can I help you out, Brandon? Well, let me tell you how you can help me out. You can subscribe to the video. I have a super huge goal of reaching 100,000 subscribers by 12/31/2020. And I don't know how I'm going to get there. That's such a huge goal. I have no idea how I'm going to get there. But what I've decided to do is just to go to work. Go to work to bring what I want to existence. But I'm going to go to work, but I also need your assistance. So if you find value in the videos, you enjoy the videos, these videos help you move toward where you want to go in your life and your business, I would certainly appreciate it if you wouldn't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for subscribing to the video. I wish you well and wish you success in all that you endeavor to do. I get it. There are a lot of people out here talking about how freight brokers move loads and make money. My style is a little bit different. I talk to you about it, but I show you how it's done. So if you're interested in learning more about the freight broker business, you want to see the process of moving a load, you want to hear me talk to customers, you want to see all the paperwork that comes with moving a load from point A to point B, you want to see me execute the movement and get paid, then go to my website at www.brandonthefreightbroker.com. Wait for the pop-up to appear, then register for the free 5-video series, and we'll start sending you out those videos. So until next time, see you at the top, because the bottom is much too crowded.